So I'm ready now to do the July reading for Scorpio. Last month, Scorpio, I think my opening line was something like, you need it, you like it spicy. So quite passionate and powerful. You had some decisions to make, even more than before. And those decisions are about moving forward and taking control and moving towards a new goal. Even though you don't know what will be the fallout from your decision. So I guess the cards were asking you to be brave last month. So let's see what the cards want you to do for July, or want give you suggestion or information about. Now, I'm currently on a yoga retreat. The place that I'm at works very much like an ashram, where they follow Ayurvedic principles and practices, Indian beliefs, religious, etc. And I was recently gifted this card set, so I brought it along with me to Govinda Valley today to use them as our starting point cards. Some of them have been a little bit mysterious to me. I'm not across all of this, but a good way to start. And I'm going to donate these cards to the volunteers when I leave tomorrow. So I better get through my readings, hey? Okay, so a card for Scorpio. I'm not even going to look down. All right, Forest of Delusion. Woohoo, fun times. Okay, what does Forest of Delusion mean? When your intelligence has passed beyond the dense forest of confusion, you shall become indifferent to all scriptural injunctions in the past or in the future. Okay, so I guess that's moving through the forest of delusion, or is it? When your intelligence has passed beyond the dense forest of confusion, you shall become indifferent to all injunctions in the past or future. Okay, we'll see if I can link that in. To me, I'm kind of getting that vibe of the confusion is before you make the decision, and once you make the decision, then you can become indifferent to the other potentials. Okay, so doing a numeraurical spread designed for this deck, the numeraurical, based on numerology and tarot. As I say, I am no master of all. I am just a jack of all trades. Go where my interests follow me. I'm trained as an artist, so I made various collages to support my cards. Okay, let's go. Where your head's at, where your body's at, and the root of it all. Where your head's at, where your body's at, and the root of it all. And the same again. Head, body, root. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what this month brings for you. Okay. So first of all, in the beginning of the month, you're feeling like you still are uncovering information. It's okay because you're operating from a safe, loving space. You are supported. There is love around you. And when you find or dig this information, you'll know what to do with it. You do have a feeling of doing it on your own, or having to take some respite, to take some time out to get away from the prying eyes. Perhaps you'll do that as you dig a little deeper into the knowledge. So it's something you have to do on your own, but you are supported and loved. In the middle of the month, it's you're left feeling quite oppressed. You're not feeling great. So having a look at these numbers, 3, 6, these all go well together. Okay. And you've got two majors, which is nice. Okay, so the middle of the month sees you feeling a little bit oppressed, restricted. Perhaps you are doing that to yourself or others. Your headspace, though, says, yeah, let's go for it, let's do it. Okay, this makes more sense. So your head's out, like, yeah, let's go for it, let's do it. But the actual body and the reality is quite restrictive. So you're still looking for that piece of information that lets you dive right in. So, you know, beginning of the month, digging deeper, doing it on your own, having a bit of love and support behind you. Middle of the month, feeling restricted, even though you want to like spread your wings and dive right in and really expand. And the root of all of that is that you still need to dig a little bit deeper to find some more information. Once you dig that little bit deeper and find that information, you're going to feel strong and empowered, and you're going to feel better than strong and empowered. You're going to have it all going on. Creative Master is the creative builder. Loving Master is the master teacher, master educator. So, I mean, you feel like you have, like, this is a card of action. This is the card of doing stuff, getting shit done. Beep, beep. Bleep that out if you don't like swear words. I am an Australian. I probably will swear more. So, yeah, feeling quite creative, feeling like you've got all the elements under your control. This is my magician kind of card. And if we look at 22, 22 is about practical things, turning dreams into reality, hard work, success. So at the end of the month, you go from being quite reflective and withdrawn to really wanting to like rip into it. It's almost like got Sagittarian vibes. And then at the end of the month, you actually feel like, yeah, I've got this going on. I've reflected, I'm excited, and now I'm ready to manipulate and to manage. So if we go back to here, looking at digging deeper, feeling restricted, that's a physical realm thing. That's like, you know, what's happening in your day to day. Like, you know, your boss says you can't go to that training session or your vacation has been denied. Or it could just simply be that, you know, you didn't catch the bus. That something is stopping you. You feel like something is stopping you from moving forward. But by the end of the month, you're feeling very, very strong and very, very capable, to the point that you are over prepared. So the number 4 is about stability and practicality, and this card for me is overdressed. You're either over prepared or overstimulated, to your detriment or to your advancement. So I would suggest it to your advancement. Like, you have got, as I said to Gemini last month, you're getting your ducks in a row. It's almost like you've got your emotional well-being in a row, and now you're ready to tackle that new phase. So I would suggest to you that the end of the month, you're going to feel very, very strong. There's still an element of patience and waiting, but you worked out, or you've got a bit of an idea of where you want to head towards. So this is the only card that kind of goes, stop. So I wouldn't freak out about that. That's temporary. You are doing the work and you are building the skills. You're so excited to get started. But just wait. At the end of the month, you're just going to have a bit more stability and a bit more assuredness and a bit more preparation under your belt to be able to pull off the next stage really well. All right, let's move on to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. See what it says. Looking for some clarity for Scorpio for July. Here we go. So perhaps that Forest of Delusion card is about this sort of stages. Don't get caught up in... So when your intelligence has passed beyond the dense forest of confusion, you can become indifferent to all scriptural injunctions in the past or in the future. So I guess, in a way, if you can get through that confusing state, you will be able to move into an activated state. Get past that forest of the, burning the houses down, forest of confusion, and move into where you need to go. Okay, Scorpio, July. Ooh, that one flew out. What do you want to be? All right, we'll leave you there, Knight of Pentacles. Moving forward. Here we go, we'll do a 3-cut. So yeah, this Page of Swords for me is like he's cutting through illusion, he's cutting through the messaging, he's getting down to the nitty-gritty, he's sort of finding out the evidence, the documentation. So that goes very nicely here with the peel back the layers. When we have the 2 of Cups and we've got the dive right in, perhaps that's where you're ready to really explore new things. It's that duality of your black and white, your yin and yang, You're positive, you're negative, you're masculine, you're feminine, if you talk in those languages or those words. But essentially it's about balance and evenness. So, you know, twos are up here. I'd suggest this card is where you're feeling at more than anything else. Perhaps it could be about relationships. I don't really talk about love in my readings. I can talk about other people. So perhaps that, but I get the feeling that this is more about you getting all of you together, the two elements of you working in tandem, and then that self-love can come through. So we've got the 2 here that goes very well with that diving right in. You really want to move forward with that loving energy, but there is quite a fair bit of strife sort of feeling in the middle of that month. So perhaps the relationship is feeling a bit tested or a bit tenuous at that time, but by the end of the month it's great. You know, you've got the strength, you've got your angel, you've got your lovers, you're creative and magical, and you're prepared. So if this is about love, there is the potential for you to cut through the illusions of the pain from the previous month, to gather your senses and to dive right in once you've done a bit of research. You know, Google them if it's about love. Do a little bit of internet stalking, perhaps, if it's about a job or a partnership that you're going to be working with. You know, dot your I's and cross your T's, and just dig that little bit deeper. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because sometimes we can make choices and we know that the outcome might not be the best, but we need to go through that experience anyway. So perhaps this is where it lands you. But you are really ready to dive in to this balance, this duality, and it leaves you feeling strong. So if this is for love, it's very successful. And if it's just for a deeper understanding of yourself, you know, the Lovers is 6, and 6s are about love and harmony and responsibility and balance. So the end of the month sees you feeling quite good. Moving forward, ready. This card is all that, the whole idea is of this being ready, you know, overdressed, overprepared, sitting back and analysing, looking forward to new things, excited to dive right in, being able to build or make whatever your heart's desire, having the strength to do so. So a good reading at the end. That beginning of the month though, still a little bit of a hangover, but you are loved. You will get through the crap. You'll be able to see the forest for the trees, you know, demystify that piece of information that you're digging for or looking for, that you've reflected on. When you get to that kind of self-realization, perhaps this open-heartedness will give you more access, but it's going to feel a bit tortured and trial and error in the middle of the month, especially with this sort of oppressive card. So you're either oppressing yourself or you're oppressing others, or you're being oppressed. So maybe just things aren't working out in the middle of the month, even though you really want to kick it off. And at the end of the month, as I said, you are ready to go, feeling very strong. You have the power in your hands. You have the essence of love by your side, and you are ready to move forward. So get out of this delusional state, move forward into this state where there is no illusions, where you are aware of your own realities of what you can create and what you have created, and move forward to some new expansive emotional actions. Yeah, some of you it's love, some of you it's just self-love, and some of you this is actually a thing, like a job or a outcome. Well, Scorpio, interesting read. I'd be very curious to have a chat with you about your July, and especially to see how this links in with your August. Okay, Scorpio, have a beautiful July.